Hey, True Believers. Chris Mack coming at you today with Detective Comics 1020. I know I'm a little behind, but I've had other books that I've been wanting to go over, and I'm glad that I finally jumped into this series because it just makes you forget how good Peter J. Tomasi can write characters. So let's dive into this, and I love that variant. I think that is a Bermejo. I'm not 100%. But the name of this book is called Past is Prologue. And what I like is you start seeing some like normal dialogue streaming down one side of the page, and then you kind of get this more wicked, cryptic side coming down this part. And at first I was like, what's going on here? But then you start to get some more really intense artwork here where, hold on folks, my book is flipping up. Let me find something to pin it down. There we go. So I think this is supposed to be a bullet inside a body. So I like this kind of inside horror. And so like here it says, not sure about you, but I was born in this city. It hurts all the time. I grew up in this city. Behind my eye, I worked in this city. The pressure. I bled this city dry. The scraping. I died in this city. A bug in my head. And so, if you kind of get the idea of this duality, of this juxtaposition of these ideas, you come to find out that our antagonist here is Two-Face. So I really enjoy the way that Tomasi and the art team here gives that idea of when Harvey is talking and when Two-Face is talking, and you get it in his head as well, and how you can kind of just go inside the body, kind of like that body modification of horror stories. Really cool idea. Now, I don't want to give away too much, but needless to say, Harvey is back with a vengeance, and I just love this look of intensity on his face as he fires both of his guns at these people. Who is he shooting at? Read the book, because this is definitely a great story. Speaking of which, this is where the credits are, so let's talk about who made it. This is Peter J. Tomasi doing the story and words, Brad Walker pencils, Andrew Hennessy inks, Brad Anderson colors, and Rob Lay doing the lettering. This is called Ugly Heart. Here's everyone else that is working on the book. Oh no, I was right. Look, check it out, Lee Bermejo. So, whoop whoop. Now, the current Tinian Batman run is awesome. A lot of action pack, and him solving like the Riddler's clues and kind of deciphering what the designer wanted. But what I like about Tomasi here is whenever you read his stories, they're always always paced well. He takes his time and doesn't try to dive into anything too quick. So what we get here is we see Batman searching the scene of what happened with Harvey just earlier. You see him looking at blood splatter, the type of coins. You see him looking at the type of gunpowder, the type of bullets. Smelling the what do you call it? What is that stuff called from the gun? I can't remember. Not carbon fiber, but the smell you get after the fact of a gunfight. I can't remember what it's called off the top of my head. It's the carbon something or other. He's going through checking blood samples, ballistics. So I like that this is Detective Comics, so we actually get to see Batman in these more quiet moments examining the scene. And the same thing here when he's back at the cave. He's analyzing everything that he's just got from the Harvey's massacre here. Now this part was a little hard for me because it's basically Batman and the computer. And for all longtime Batman fans, you're waiting for Alfred to walk up with a pitcher of tea or coffee or what have you. But, thanks to the City of Bane arc, we lost him. So that's just one thing you have to kind of let go. But you see how Batman just becomes fixated, and he's like, what the hell are you up to? So something else happens with Harvey that causes him to go nuts. You see him here, he's like, damn, butcher, and he shoots this guy. and you see that he's like, what have I done? See how the dialogue again changes? So you see that Harvey's seeming to go a little bit crazier in this book. And now you start to see all his goons talking about how they need to wipe evidence of where he was. Where was he? Check the book. And then this is where, again, with pacing, we see all the detective work, how it leads Batman to where he's supposed to be, and you just see him go through Harvey's goons. And now the last thing I do want to show, because I don't want to spoil too much of this book, because I want you guys to go read it. But check out this cool splash page. Now the dialogue, it's all the same. It's saying two of us, two of us, two of us. Now one thing that in Tomasi's detective run that I've kind of noticed is he's really kind of focused on sensationalism, like cults. Because he kind of did that with the Church of Light when we met Amadeus. Was it Amadeus Arkham's daughter? I can't remember off the top of my head. Let me know down in the comments. But again, we're kind of getting a new version of Two-Face here. So I'm excited to see where this book goes. And I just like the intensity of all these different people who are supposed to be working for Two-Face. And this is kind of like what is communion, the waffle wafers? Yeah, those things. But yeah, interesting. And then, but they're using coins. So I'm excited to see where this book goes. I know this was kind of a quick review, but the book itself, like I said, even though when you're reading it, it's well paced, but when you kind of look and focus on the issue itself, it's a little quick because Tomasi tosses a lot at you. But nonetheless, I like those opening scenes where Batman's just quiet, examining the scene by himself. No one else bothering him. You don't even see the cops. It's just him in the scene. And he's able to decipher everything on his own because that's world's greatest detective. And a lot of times people forget that. So with that said, if you guys have enjoyed this comic book, please make sure to support your local comic shop and pick up a copy. And if you've enjoyed this review, we'd really appreciate it if you take a minute to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little battering bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys can come to the channel. And we love to hear your feedback and have a dialogue with y'all down in the comments below. And so I hope y'all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.